Allie Beth Stucky has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, man. I like Allie Beth, man. I just like her tenacity. I just like the fact that she stands strong on business and she's bringing the noise. So let's just real quick, everybody. Let's take a moment to check out what Miss Allie Beth has to say. All right, here it comes. Allie Beth. Not only did she bring receipts, she's pushing back. This is going to get very interesting. Let's go. Allie Beth Stucky on the Twitter. The latest claim is that TPUSA must have been in on Charlie's murder because the UVU campus stop was approved in July, and that's too short of a timeline for an event in September. That's not true. Charlie texted me at the end of August for a campus event in early November. That's about 2 months out. And the reason he didn't specify which campus is because they didn't even know yet. Okay, remember this. This is interesting right here. They didn't even know yet. There's a reason why that's going to jump out a little later. So remember that. Put a pin on that one. He just knew he was going to be in Alabama. So yes, it did seem like part of this year's campus tour was being put together at the last minute. And UVU being booked over the summer isn't actually unusual. So she actually shares a text message. Shout out to the text message game. Text messages are entering the chat for sure. Hold on, Jason. You messing it up, man. What are you doing? What are you doing, Jay? All right. Hey, would love to have you join us on campus 11/3. And this is, of course, you can see here, this is Friday, August 22nd of 2025. I guess it's fair to assume, right? Let's keep going down. Since some of y'all are struggling, no venue yet, 2-ish months out. Let's pull this up real quick. Let's make this a little bit more readable. Okay, hey, send me info when you can. Now, I know somebody about to jump in here and say, well, we don't know what year it is. I'm assuming it's pretty straightforward. It's probably this year, but let's keep it going. Notice else who commented back though. I think this is going to be really fun. Anybody notice who replied back? It was the good old Mike McCoy. Oh gosh, this is going to be crazy. November 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Either Auburn University, 5,000 seats, or the University of South Alabama, 2,800 seats. This is going to be wild. So let me show you why I wanted you to remember that whole thing about not knowing exactly where it's going to be, because look who commented back. Yo, this woman is insufferable. And this is literally 4 minutes ago. So this is hot off the press. Asking someone to join you on stage after the event has been established. Here's the word. Established has absolutely nothing to do with anything. Remember, go back up here. The event wasn't established because they did not know. He did not specify which campus because they didn't even know yet. So this is the exact same thing. This is the exact same thing as a UVU, a very impromptu. They did make decisions on the fly. She is going to be inside. I promise you, she's going to talk about this today. Absolutely nothing to do with anything. You are just completely wrong here, Allie. I know how these tour stops work, even though you haven't worked there in 7 years. Even though you haven't worked there in 7 years. Think about a job that you had 7 years ago. Would you honestly, with your whole chest, say you know how that operation works in 2025 if you haven't worked there since 2018? Let's be oh so for real, okay? That's crazy work. It takes a while for the students to even get the administrative approval. These things don't come together in 6 weeks, full stop. But they just said it though. That's TPUSA. That's TPUSA that said that. They ain't got nothing to do with Allie. Shout out to Bartney Jones. I think that's supposed to be Brittany. Bartney? Interesting. Bartimi Jones, thank you. These conspiracy theories about this are heartless. You have a widow, children, and loyal team of friends, co-workers who are grieving and trying to carry on the mission forward, and they have to hear and deal with these ridiculous conspiracy. With this ridiculous conspiracy. It really is heartless. Shout, you know, wait, there's some commentary back here. Let's see what they said. Look, okay, so these are the comments back to Candace. I'm sorry. Let's take a little trip down memory lane here. His own organization was not involved in his death. If that is what Candace is implying, she's going off the deep end on this one. I know how these tours work. How would you know, Candace? You weren't invited to his events. And for good reason. Oh, this is crazy work, y'all. Seriously, what has happened to you? It has been so sad. These people are not having this. These people constantly lie and mislead people in the most creepy ways, all in the name of getting to murder masses of children without accountability. What in the world? Gross. I love you, Candace. Love her enough to tell her the truth then. You know how the tour stops work. You were on work. Wait, let me read it again. Shout out to David Taylor. You know how the tour stops you were on worked. To make a claim that is how every tour stop works is absurd. Shout out to him. You are a true entrepreneur, sorbet, seed tester, Qatar agent, podcaster. You be amazing. Yes, to the yay, and Black lives truly do really matter. What is black seed? What is that? That is some crazy word. We've moved on from making money off of hating Jews to making money off of dead friend. Really good, great stuff, Candace. Yo, Candace is not getting any love on here. I thought she was gonna get some love. You're exhausting. Okay, that right there is enough for me. You're exhausting. It's almost like you have an outcome you're trying to prove rather than going where the facts lead. Rather than take Allie's point, you're trying to dismiss it and her. So basically, any facts that don't support your theory aren't valid. Good to know. Wow. These people are playing with her. None. Approved by Qatar. That is hilarious. For you, let me see. The last one. Yo, this is crazy. A millionaire living my best life. I'm giving out 7 grand to the first 5 people who message me bless or whatever. What's with the ice cream thing? Is there something I'm missing? I don't get the ice cream joke, but I get the Candace joke for sure. Yeah, Allie Beth did not come to play with her at all. She is here. And Allie Beth has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Allie Beth Stucky has entered the chat in full glory. This is going to be wild today. I mean, these people are not playing with her. Shout out to this one. I'm pretty sure they threw a massive memorial in mere weeks, and it was a lot more than simply setting up tables. Shout out to little Mondi. I think I've seen her before. Candace Owens is either truly mentally ill or just plain evil. Yo, these people are not playing with her. This is going to be fun to watch. Y'all make sure that yo. I don't know. We might need to put Allie Beth on the bingo board. What y'all think? Allie needs to get on the bingo board because she gonna try to give her some smoke on this. And Allie does not play. I am definitely team Allie for this one. I don't see one person that supports this. Okay, here's somebody right here. What about the security plan that they won't release? Do they have to? No ambulance outside or on site. Okay, that's probably problematic. 2 tours in Utah, 10 days apart. And the thing is, I think is interesting. They're not talking about what's between those 2 days. Let me pull this up a little bit closer. They never talk about what's between the 2 days. Okay, fine. He was going to be there on the 10th. He was going to be there on the 20th. What was he at between those 10 days? That's the problem I think you need to ask. Mikey McCoy behavior, walking away from his best friend the moment he got shot. And like we've already talked about all these. Do you really truly expect the security plan to be given out to the public when that's definitely a part of the investigation and the trial? Do you really think that's going to happen? Like, come on, man, be so for real. Thank you, Allie. Yeah, these people are not having it with Candace at all. She is not getting any kind of love for this. Shout out to Allie Beth. Thank you for stepping into the chat.
Back forth that I had with Allie Beth Stucky.
Shout out to Allie.
I'll start actually by saying some nice things about Allie Beth Stucky, because one of the things that I am working on is being a lot more measured when I'm ticked off about something.
Nobody
and I
cares.
realize that this particular subject is just, I just instantly want to go claws out. And there's a lot of great things about Allie Stucky. I've actually worked with Allie Stucky at various events.
Allie
I've
in the
spoken to Allie
chat.
Stucky. She's been on my podcast multiple times. She's been a panelist back when I was on the Daily Wire. I'm referring to, she debated my husband before I was Catholic. They had a very good sit down, and she's always been very kind. Behind the scenes, I will always tell you guys, if there's tea, there actually isn't any on Allie Stucky. She's always been a very lovely person. And especially because when I was first coming into the industry and people were dunking on me for all sorts of things, she actually like hosted me on her show and had a conversation.
So make sure that y'all remember that she really has no problem with Allie Beth Stucky. Remember that, because I got this feeling she's going to forget that she said that. So we might need to remind her that she said that there's no problem with Allie Beth Stucky, because I got a bad feeling, y'all, probably in about 6-7 minutes, she's going to have a problem with Allie Beth Stucky.
Rather than just kind of joining the choir. So yeah, I am not addressing this because Allie is a bad human being. I'm addressing this because she has been addressing me actually, subtly, subtweeting these sorts of things. And I feel like it's fair that when people engage in that sort of behavior that I get to respond. Somehow people are allowed to talk about me, and then when I respond, some people will suddenly be like, I stand with so-and-so. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just answering someone. For me, this topic, Charlie Kirk, who murdered him, there isn't a single topic in politics that is happening on this planet that I care more about, okay? It is the killing of Charlie Kirk and nothing else for me. And in the aftermath of his assassination, people...
I know this is going to be really weird. I cannot imagine my wife saying that. In the chat, real quick, if you're a husband or if you're a wife, would you make that sentence, the only thing that's most important in the world is the killing of, again, a friend of yours, for sure, but that's the most important thing that matters to you right now? Would you say that? Again, like, I'm not saying you can't be concerned. That's not what I'm saying. So don't hear what I didn't say. All I'm saying is you're a whole married woman with 4 kids. 4. I don't have to put the R in there. 4 kids. And the only thing that you're most concerned about is the death of Charlie Kirk. Okay. All right. Okay. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense to me, but it don't make sense to any of y'all because none of y'all said yes. Like, what in the world? Yo, Candace is an IQ. Come on, Jason. How did you stop her like that? I have some of the best screenshots of Candace. How do I keep stopping on these? Man, I didn't mean to do that to that woman, but I'm going to put it on a thumbnail. That's going to happen.
People were downright nasty to me. You saw that. It was definitively not organic. It was this weird need to assert his legacy as a Christian Zionist. By the way, I'm not including Allie in the downright nasty category whatsoever.
Yet.
But she was one of the voices who cast unnecessary shade, I would say, on my account of him becoming Catholic curious. And it was unnecessary, I would say, only because she could have texted me. She has my number. This is one of the things that Matt Walsh recently said, that he views it as such a form of disloyalty when you have access to an individual, but you will instead go onto your platform to say something about that individual when you could ask for clarity, right? She could have messaged me and say,
why don't you do the same thing to Erica then, Candace? Hold on. I don't like backing up because I know we get kind of late. I'm going to back this up. Why don't you do that same thing? Why don't you do that for Erica? Oh, listen to what she said.
Because she could have texted me. She has my number. This is one of the things that Matt Walsh recently said, that he views it as such a form of disloyalty when you have access to an individual, but you will instead go onto your platform to say something about that individual when you could ask for clarity, right? She could have messaged me and say, hey, I've never heard anything about Charlie being interested in Catholicism. And I would have said to her, hey, privately, yeah, he was going to mass sometimes daily. He was going on Sundays. He died with a pendant, but that didn't happen. Anyways,
but where's your evidence to that? Where's the evidence of that? You could have easily shown your evidence too, and nobody would have been asking double questions. You see what I'm saying? You say it, But then you said, well, you should have called me. Well, why don't you just put the evidence out there when you say it, and then everybody can say, oh, yeah, there it is. That's the real. But see, this is that duplicitousness. And by the way, Matt Walsh is not the standard by any means or measures. Kick rocks, Matt, because Matt is wrong. Matt is wrong on a lot of stuff. And we need to say that. It's okay to say Matt is wrong, just like I'm saying Candace is wrong.
She's a friend of Charlie Kirk. She certainly has worked with Charlie Kirk for years. All that is true. We are natural allies because we are committed to wanting there to be justice and genuinely are both upset by Charlie being no longer here, not seeing where Charlie was supposed to go in his life, having his life cut short in the most traumatic terms possible. But it feels to me that there are some people who only want to use their platforms to dispel something that I am saying that they think is untrue, even when I present proof that it is true. And an example of that is this morning. So yesterday,
that wasn't true.
I said to you guys, as a person who worked at Turning Point USA, who toured with Charlie the most, okay? There's not a single person who can say, I headlined more Turning Point USA campus tours than Candace Owens. Just, I know what I'm talking about, right? It's a very strange thing to not know what the inner workings are and to then accuse somebody who shows an email, as I did yesterday, that these events are booked the semester before, okay? There's a long waiting list. Everybody wants Charlie or Candace, whoever it is, Don Jr., to come to their campus, and they make those requests early. The Turning Point chapters, they have so many of them. And so they are constantly running behind on those requests, and it's a very long process because the administrations at these campuses naturally hate Turning Point USA in particular because Charlie started the organization to disrupt college campuses. So they give these kids a very hard time over everything. When I tell you a hard time, when Charlie and I were speaking at Stanford, the student who put the event together, her grandfather owned one of the buildings at Stanford. Like, her name was on one of the buildings at Stanford University, and they still gave her a hard time pulling this event.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm wondering, is she going to actually show the text message, the tweet exchange? I'm going to go on a limb. I know I keep going out on the limb and it's breaking on me. I don't think she's going to show the email exchange because the text message exchange, the Twitter exchange today is very clear. Candace is not being very honest about what the text exchange was about.
Together, right? It doesn't matter. It's more the sentiment of who you are as a political person and as a political organization, and they will try to stop you. And that is why it is strange. As in, it has never happened while I toured for 9 semesters, 2019 summer, 8 semesters with Charlie, like in a row. It's never happened that a college makes a request over the summer when school is closed, because it was, okay, at the end of July, school was not in session, and then it gets honored by Turning Point USA immediately, and then it's on the calendar. Could you imagine the university getting that email? They already hate Charlie Kirk, and they're going to honor it and be like, not only do we want to honor this, we'll give you the first week back to school. Like, that's what they're telling us, and it doesn't make any sense, and I pointed that out, and I showed proof of that. What are you disagreeing with actually? Like, when you jump into this, what is motivating your disagreement would be my question. I will read her tweets, and then I will respond to them. So she does a total false debunking by sharing a private message exchange between her and Charlie. This is what she tweeted. She said, the latest claim is that TPUSA must have been in on Charlie's murder because the UVU campus stop was approved in July. It was not approved in July. It was requested in July. And that's too short of a timeline for an event in September. That is not true. Charlie texted me at the end of August for a campus event in early November. That's about 2 months out. And the reason he didn't specify which campus is because he didn't even know yet. He just knew it was going to be in Alabama. So yes, it does seem like part of this year's campus tour was being put together at the last minute, and UVU being booked over the summer isn't actually unusual. No, hey, would love to have you join us on campus on November 3rd. What does this prove? It proves that Charlie invited her to join him on campus on November 3rd. If he is giving you multiple locations, and I'm telling you this as someone who I worked for this organization, Allie, okay? It's probably because these are this is already approved. They're doing these campus.
She is pissed off, y'all. I got to say it like that. She is pissed off. That's why, because she's already been in the tweet. They already went back and forth in the Twitterverse. For her to be bringing it up now, one, means she don't have any content to talk about. But two, she's perturbed. She's really pedo because nobody, and I went over the video. I did a video earlier today about it, about this exchange. Nobody was rocking with Candace on this. Nobody was saying, oh, Candace, you're right. There might have been one person. I'll take that back. The lion's share of people are like, yeah, this is, and even later on, there's going to be a young lady that talks about it and talks about her experience getting TPUSA there. This woman is mad.
Already, he's asking you which one to choose.
This is a clip from an earlier live stream. I know you're going to like it. So the link to the full video is down below. Check it out. I'll see you over there.